I recently listened to a book called In Order to Live by Yeonmi Park. This is about a girl who was born in North Korea in the early 90s and how she lived there fairly well off for some of her life because of her dad's job. But then when things went terribly bad, it went bad fast and awful. It looks like things were bright on the outside, but then it just would fall apart. And at one point, they decided they just couldn't stand not having food anymore. Basically, they were done starving. And that's when they decided to do the necessary things to escape into China, which she and her mom did together. Her sister went earlier, and then they ended up not ever finding her for many, many, many years. That's part of the story, is her search for her sister. Once she and her mom got to China, then they found out that they were mixed up in the middle of a sex trafficking ring, basically. And the people that helped them ended up selling them to be wives to Chinese farmers and other people. The stories are absolutely gut-wrenching and mind-blowing. And our girl was only 13 at the time, and she was sold. But she ended up being basically bought by the ringleader. Even though he was a terrible guy, treated her fairly nicely. So she has mixed feelings about him, which is an interesting thing for her to try and talk about in the book. After that, it's their story to continue to try and find freedom because, they think once they get to China, they're going to be okay, but it ends up being even worse. And they wonder why they even did that. And so now they still have to figure out how to continue on to get to South Korea, which is to them like the bad place. And so they don't really want to go there, but they eventually learn that is where they want to be eventually. And so the way that she got out and finally to freedom in South Korea, and also as with all these many other books, they have to kind of be brought up to speed to regular culture. And that whole part of the story is interesting too. How they become able to function in society after such a life that they've been living. All these stories are crazy good, like crazy intense. So I'm giving this one 4 stars.